Hey guys, welcome back to the second round of the Grotti F1 World Championship. This time we race the Mirror's Edge Grand Prix, a track designed by Ganyalo, a member of the Bolingbroke F1 team, also racing in this competition with his teammate Madaros. And they created a very nice atmosphere for us here today, hosting this race. And here you see Susie, our cameraman, just taking some shots of the lined up cars, which we just did. And we are just waiting for Meet My Pyro to place those sticky bombs and give us the 5-second warning to start the race. Next to me in second place is Fab Iceman. In third place is O'Darn for the Rigid Majestics team. And in fourth place my teammate Michiski. And I managed to pull off a pretty quick lap time for pole position, and let's see how this race will go. Off we go, onto the first straight, into the first corner, which is a nice left-hander. I got a pretty good start here, nobody attacking me into the first corner. No incidents for myself. So I'm quite happy with this. Now my goal is just to pull away right from the start, create a little gap and then see what happens. Just be consistent as always. There's no point in going fast but inconsistent. You always wanna be consistent, even if you have to sacrifice a bit of your pace. You still want to be consistent. In the end, it will give you better results. So here we are already. You see Fab Iceman is right behind me, and behind that is that car guy. He managed to get a great start, going from 5th position into 3rd place. Very well done. And in this moment I was a bit nervous because I was still a bit cold in my fingers and not that comfortable at this time of the race. So I just tried to make no mistakes. And here looking back I see, okay, I'm fine. Iceman is not right at my bumper. But still just 1 second. Every mistake would actually be like lost position, maybe even more.
I didn't kill him. Somebody else behind me probably killed him.
Here this left-hander into this right-hander. It's a nice combination. This right-hander actually is very tricky. Looks easier than it is. And then we already managed to finish our first lap here. We are doing about 2 minutes and 15, 16, 2 minutes 15 to 2 minutes 20 lap times. And here we go into lap 2. This time I'm showing you some more points of views. Here you see Mr. Cleanup going for Team Binko F1 in the yellow car. He's a reserve driver, replacing El Gandhi for this race. And he's in 9th position at the moment. Oh, they're making a little mistake and losing 1 position to Daniel Jackson, going for the Fly US team. Let's see how he can handle this. Maybe he can get that position back. Okay, he's pretty close here. But then you see this happen here. Arkanlaw, Mr. Ryo and Renegade, they were having a quite big accident there. And that's quite controversial because Arkanlaw and Renegade, they are both going for the Xero F1 team, being first in the Constructors Championship at the moment. And yeah, quite controversial there. And here you see Arkanlaw, the winner of the last race, already making his way back up the grid. Already passing 2 guys in 2 turns. That's That's quite good. But here you see Mr. Cleanup gets a better run out of that corner and is able to pass Daniel Jackson on the outside, going into this tricky left-hander, staying on the inside of the tire barrier. You can also go on the outside, and he's trying to follow Arkenlol here, which is always a good idea. If you manage to follow him, you're pretty quick on the track. Yeah, in the top right corner you can see myself just finishing the second lap. And here we have some footage from Meet My Pyro. You can see myself, Fab Iceman, and that car guy. And in fourth position we have my teammate Mitch, then O'Dorn for Richard Majestics, Arkenlol. And there we already have Mr. Cleanup and Mr. Ryo. Okay, back to Mr. Cleanup. We just seen he has his teammate right behind him, but in lap 3 was nothing to show you guys. Just a clean lap. And right into lap 4 here. Let's see what will happen. Because I can tell you, this race, those two guys, Cleanup and Mr. Ryo, you need to remember Mr. Ryo and Cleanup. They're just having a battle all race long. It's very interesting. Also here you see Cleanup is letting Mr. Ryo pass because he's his teammate and he noticed that Ryo is faster than him. And always a good thing to do, to let the faster teammate pass if you're right behind each other, so he gets a chance to actually catch up to the guys in front of him and possibly gathering more points for the team. So some nice communication here between those teammates. And now Cleanup also can follow Mr. Ryo, follow his lines, and may be able to put in some quicker lap times and just follow him. So it's a good decision from Team Binko here. And you already can see that Ryo is manages to create a little gap, just turn by turn, just a bit, but he's creating a gap. So it was the right decision to let him pass. Also, it would have just caused trouble for Cleanup and the Binko F1 team if they both would have fought against each other, and maybe somebody from the back, like Vikstro, is behind Cleanup in 9th position right now. He could have easily catched up if they would have fought against each other. But let me tell you, this is like, as smart as this was, it's not the end of the story. You will see. It's quite quite interesting. Let me just say that. So we already finished lap 4. Cleanup is in 8th position, going into lap 5 now, following his teammate.
Do I need to piss off? The back of my thing is off.
And here you see Ryo is just going into that wall, and Cleanup passes him again. How unfortunate is that? You let your teammate pass and he makes a mistake and crashes into the wall, and you pass him again. That's quite unfortunate for Mr. Ryo there. So already into lap 6 now. Ryo is still right behind Mr. Cleanup. Now they're just you can't separate those two. They're just next to each other all race long. And there you see some controversial overtake there. I think Cleanup just lost the rear of his car, and then Mr. Ryo comes from the back, hits him a bit, but I guess didn't cause too much trouble.
Hopefully I don't crash or something during this race. That's not good.
So lucky for Mr. Cleanup that he didn't go into those poles on the side there. That would have been pretty bad for him at that moment, being taken out by his teammate. But luckily nothing happened. So lap 6 again. Already 3 position changes between those guys, those two guys here. Lap 4, cleanup lets Ryo pass, then Ryo makes an accident on lap 5. Cleanup passes him again. Lap 6, Ryo passes cleanup again. Kinda crazy race for those two. And here we see cleanup also starts to taking the outside line. On the right side of the pole, which is, in my opinion, is the right decision for this track.
Let me know that.
Yeah, if you wanna try out this track, you can go on my Rockstar profile and look for the Mirror's F1, Mirror's Edge Grotti F1 racetrack. I can really recommend it, and you should give Ganiello credits for this. Oh, and there we see, again, the end of lap 6. Mr. Ryo makes a little mistake there, hitting the outside barrier on the last turn. But cleanup is not able to take advantage on the long straight. But he definitely closed the gap to him. So let's see if he can overtake Ryo here. Interesting battle right now between those two. Because in the beginning Ryo was the faster guy. But now it looks like cleanup picked up his pace and he's getting more comfortable in the race. He's like right behind him in this cutting corners section. Down in the hospital onto the long straight. You definitely wanna hit the curb. Gives you a nice boost. Also, it's allowed for this race, but you're only allowed to go onto the curb once. So no curb surfing for our races. You see, cleanup can definitely go the same pace as Ryo is here at the moment. He's not losing time, but also he's not gaining. But I guess that's good for Team Bingo. But when you look at the map, you can already see there's a huge gap to place 6. They're way behind place 6, 5 and 4. But never give up. Maybe somebody makes a mistake and you'll be able to get some better positions. Pyro, I'm in lap 8 out of 28, so when the last car passes the finish line, the pit window should be open. Yeah, there you just heard my voice that I'm saying that the pit window will be open from lap 8. And here on the side you have just seen the timetable. You've seen Mr. Cleanup behind his teammate Ryo just 1 second, but Ryo already 12 seconds behind the 6th place. But in this part here, you could clearly see that Ryo made some pretty nice turns there, hitting the apex at the right speed and going fast through the turns. He managed to create a bit of a gap to Mr. Cleanup.
Sun's coming up soon.
And I think at this time of the race, Cleanup was having a bit of trouble with the night time, like some of the racers had. But the sun is coming up right here at the moment, so should become a bit easier to see.
Horrible. I can only assume it's mumble because that's the only thing I've done differently.
So here we see again curb boost a bit, and then this turn is difficult. Like
out of the game during the
he just he went a bit far on the outside there of that turn. You want to really stick to the inside. It's quite scary to stay that close to the wall, but you really want to do it. And what happened here? Oh, Cleanup just makes huge mistake. Huge mistake hitting the outside barriers there on that turn. Unfortunately losing his spoiler. but as you see in the upper right corner, he is quite lucky because this is the first lap. The pit window is open, so he can just make his mandatory pit stop and doesn't have to wait another 20 seconds.
Oh mate, there's another one. I'm gonna do it as soon as I don't care if everyone else is pitting. I'm gonna have to do it right now. I need to do something. This is horrible. Game just keeps pausing for like 2 or 3 seconons at a time.
Yeah, there in the background you hear Vikstro. He had some problems with his engine, misfiring, so he needed to go to his pit crew and the pit stops and.
I'm just gonna put it down to engine failure because I can't race like this. It's not fun.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Alright, Pyro.
He had to go to his pit crew and they had to give his engine a smack with a sledgehammer to make it work again. But that's what you get for going for the auto exotic team. I really like. If you want to have better material, you probably need to go for another team, Vikstro. No, just joking.
Mate.
42 Pyro.
Okay, so here you see Mr. Cleanup approaching the pit stop.
42.
He used the pit stop to repair his car after that horrible accident he had, and he can leave the pits after 20 seconds. So off he goes onto the straight again, and right behind him you see Renegade for the Zero F1 team having the crash in the second lap with Arkenlol and Mr. Ryo right behind him, so Cleanup has to do some defending here now against him. Will be very interesting if he manages to stay ahead of Renegade. If you look at the map, you already see Renegade is right behind him.
Yeah, it was
really close. Going into this hospital section again. Oh, lost a little grip there. Almost went into that pole. And there you already see Renegade appear. But he manages to get a better boost here, I guess. Close racing next to each other into that high speed turn. Oh, he's going a bit on the outside. And there you see Renegade was sticking to the inside and has the overspeed on this straight, but no. Cleanup still manages to stay ahead. Great. That's some great racing here. Oh, and then unfortunately he loses grip again, and there goes Renegade on the inside, passes him. Well done. Nice overtake. Also great racing. Nice awareness from everybody here. So Cleanup, after the pit stop he did, he's in 13th position. Well, and makes a mistake there, hitting that light pole. Kinda unfortunate after being 8th place before the pit stop, and his mistake now dropped into 13th position. Let's see if he can, what place he will be in when the pit window will be closed. So let's see where he will be when everybody has pitted. Yeah, pit window in this race was from lap 8 to 11. So there are still 3 laps to pit. And here on the side you already seen, he already passed 3 other guys and is back in 10th position again, approaching lap 10. In front of him still Renegade.
I can't, mate. I'm trying to sort my shit out. I'm trying to sort my fucking lag out.
It's like as soon as Cleanup was behind somebody, I think he managed to stick to those guys, which was nice to see. It's always, in my opinion, it's always easier to drive behind somebody and follow their lines and just get closer and closer to them than going up front and have to decide which is the fastest line, where's the right braking point. But if you're in the back, you also have to be more careful that you don't run into the rear of the car in front. So it's always like, you always have to judge what the car in front is doing. Yeah, in the top right you see myself being in lap 11, I think, right now. Lap 11 is the last pit window lap, so I have to take my pit stop now because I have not taken it till now. Same philosophy as in the Rattlesnake Grand Prix. Being in first, you don't want to pit early because you don't want to be falling behind somebody that is in 4th, 5th, or just behind you. You want to have as much fresh air in front of you to be able to create your own race. You don't want to get stuck behind somebody and then have to overtake them and have always the possibility to make a mistake and possibly crash. So you will see myself approaching the pits on this lap.
60.
So keep an eye open for that upper right corner there.
Already for 10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm 56. You can go now.
Okay. Oh god, shit. I messed it up.
Yeah, in the background you hear Meet My Pyro. He was our safety car driver and pit watcher for this race. He was a big support for everybody, helping us out to make the pit stops right, and also being our safety car driver, which is always important if there's a big incident involving more than 4 cars. Okay, so I'm almost on the main straight again and will be approaching the pit stops pretty soon. I lapped Ganiello and Bad Loser, so they should be on lap. Yeah, and you just heard myself saying that I already lapped Ganiello and Bad Loser here. And there I take the wrench to repair my car and go to the pit exit. And I stop around 2 minutes 20, I guess. 2 minutes, 28 minutes.
Yeah, I just did a lap and the game's running flawless now.
And off I go after waiting my mandatory 20 seconds onto lap 12.
Around 29.
So let's focus on Mr. Cleanup again, because if you took a look at his screen, something interesting happened because Renegade is back again. Like a few laps ago, he wasn't that close to Mr. Cleanup, so Mr. Cleanup either managed to close the gap to him, or Renegade might have done a mistake. I'm not sure what happened there. And here something even more interesting happens again. Mr. Ryo all of a sudden appears on the screen. What is going on there? Like, we have a 3-car battle now, just going from 1 car driving the track as fast as he can to 3 cars battling for position 7. That's interesting. Also, again, Mr. Cleanup has to race his teammate, Mr. Ryo. You can't separate those guys. Like, they always they're like magnets. They come to each other. And here you see Cleanup has a great run on that straight, really making up some ground on Mr. Ryo, having a great first turn, I think, for my opinion, having a good exit there. Also here, not hitting the light pole, getting the curb boosts. He's close to those guys, so
making lots of mistakes now because I'm just trying to
all in between 1 second. And here, whoa, oh, whoa, that's unfortunate. That's a like you definitely don't want to have like this. You don't want to have it happen if you're if you're close to your teammate. You don't want to crash into him. That's controversial stuff here. But I think though they were talking on the chat with each other, and Ryo said that it was fine. Also, this is just it's just GTA how we love it. Lag spikes here and desync there. You just never know what will happen.
to know how long my pit stop was.
So, lap 12, and already the fourth position change between Cleanup and Mr. Ryo. And I think Cleanup, he's having a great run through those turns. He's gaining a lot on the Renegade. I think Renegade was having some engine problems here too, leaking some oil, having problems with the oil pressure. He lost some time due to his game lagging a bit, and Cleanup managed to stick to him. And let's see, like, Ryo is also right behind Cleanup now, and Cleanup managed to be in 8th position now, which is a good position. You always want to have some points. You don't want to finish in 11th position and don't get any points for the championship. Also, both cars in the points for Binko F1, which is always a good thing. And going into lap 13 now. Again, first turn here. You want to avoid that wall, as we have seen on lap 5 when Mr. Ryo hit that wall. Then get this boost here. It's kind of mandatory because it gives you such a big speed boost. And then this hospital section, everybody knows from cutting corners.
He did it in practice.
Get a good entrance into the hospital, also a good exit, because that curb on the inside is kind of tricky sometimes. Here, go onto the curb once, and here you want to go onto it too. And if you got the right speed, make the jump. Be careful on the second jump there, you can lose traction pretty easy. That fast left-hander onto this curb and into the fast right-hander uphill section here, followed by the long left-hander. Avoid that barrier, go over the grass, left, right, left here, very nice section I think, and
already
onto that curb a bit.
yes.
Those bumps, I always stay on the outside there to avoid the heavy bump. And oh, Cleanup. No, he was closing the gap to Renegade, and then such a mistake. Just losing grip on that difficult left-hander. And oh, another mistake. What's going on? 2 mistakes in 1 lap. That's whew. And there you see. What did I tell you? Ryo again. Just those 2. He passed Cleanup, so Cleanup back in 9th position now. They're having a close battle now. Pretty intense. Going on to the main straight. Who gets the better speed? Oh, Cleanup is closing. Can he pass him? No, Ryo managed to stay ahead of him.
2 different crabs and you touch each one.
Into turn 1. Just stick to his rear. Oh, Cleanup got a good run here. Can he pull off overtake? No, he's too far away.
I'm taking the inside.
Also in the upper right corner you see myself with my first lapping. Lap Vikstro in lap 14. With, as I just mentioned before, Vikstro had some engine problems and had to his pit stop wasn't the mandatory 20 seconds, but he was standing in the pits for 60 seconds. So it's kinda understandable why I already lap him in on lap 14. And on the lower screen, so much stuff going on at the moment. Cleanup passed Ryo again. Like again, I don't even count anymore. Was it the 6th overtake?
Yes, Susie, I'm on lap 15.
Unbelievable stuff between those 2.
So next pits will be open at lap 17.
Yeah, as you just heard, Next pits will be open at lap 17. 17 till 21 is our second pit stop window. Everybody needs to do their second pit stop there. And now it's like almost the same situation as it was before the first pit stop. Clean up, having a big gap to the car in front on 7th position. So it's kind of a race. Binko F1 against Binko F1. So they are just close together, and they focus on staying, like, giving the best pace on the track and just go as fast as they can.
Don't worry.
You see Renegade 9 seconds ahead, and myself, I'm 11 seconds in front of Fab Iceman, and Arkanlol, who had the crash on the lap 2, already managed to go into 3rd position. Very interesting for the championship, because, as you know, Arkanlol won the Rattlesnake Grand Prix in front of myself. So if I manage to win this race and Arkanlol stays in 3rd position, I can take the lead of the championship in the second race, which would be kind of cool, I think. I like it.
I was in there for a while 'cause I had to
but the race is still, we still have to do 13 laps, so
I put Mumble to normal priority.
don't know who will
GTO
win this
to high.
race.
Seems to sort that
But I think it looks pretty good for myself. If I don't make any big mistakes, I might be able to win this race. Oh, clean up, losing the rear there, but fortunately nobody is behind him to overtake him.
Technical failure here.
So he's kind of bit in the dead zone right now. Nobody in front of him, nobody behind him. Whoa, close call there. Almost ran into that barrier. Nice judgment to manage to avoid that barrier there. But that cost some time, as you see on the mini-map, like
Another one.
Renegade is just behind him. No, not Renegade, sorry, Mr. Ryo is just behind him. And you see on the left side there, Bad Loser left the game, and also Meadows just a few seconds before him. So unfortunately for Meadows and the Bowling Broke F1 team, DNF for them due to engine failure. Very sad on their home Grand Prix. But it is how it is. Sometimes the engine just explodes, you cannot change it. And Bad Loser for the Fly US team. Second round without points. Kinda tough for those guys at the moment to find new sponsors. But we will see how they will do in the next races. And here you see Ryo again, who, like,
Yeah, but
what?
do like me, don't talk
He-
when you drive.
those guys, nah. Oh, and he knocks down that pedestrian.
No, in the straight you can talk.
I wonder
You
where
can
Ryo
use
found
your,
that
command.
speed on the straight. That was
I do
quite fast. And here, oh, unfortunate, just a little leg push from Mr. Cleanup against Ryo. The second time Cleanup hits his teammate. That's just a GTA. But Ryo in front again, Cleanup on position 9, and I think that was the last position change between those two guys for this race. So let's take a look how I do right now. So I'm in lap 17, the pit window is open again. Pit window this time is from lap 17 till lap 21. And I'm just thinking to myself that I want to pit as late as possible, just as I did at the first pit stop. And I think I end up pitting in lap 20 instead of lap 21, because everybody behind me already pitted or took their pit stop. So I was able to choose between lap 20 and lap 21 which was I was fine with that. I decided to go on lap 21 just to get the pit stop done and get back into the race. So here at the moment I'm just trying to put in some quick lap times. I have quite a comfortable gap to the guys behind me, as you see at the map. They are just approaching the uphill right-hander right now. So there's enough. The gap is big enough between me and them. And here you see I already, always stay on the outside. I feel I don't hit the bump as much there. I think I'm approaching... Yeah, I'm approaching Pasby to lap him on lap 17. Which was very interesting on this track. We didn't have any... Like, we didn't lap any car at the Rattlesnake Grand Prix due to the long lap time. But here with the 2 minutes and 15 seconds lap time, it was more interesting for the guys in the front, trying to get good overlaps and not losing too much time there. So in front you see Pasby. Pasby was a reserve driver in this race, going for the Grotti F1 team and replacing Heiberg. And he did very well. I don't know what position he finished right now, but he was staying in the race very good, and it's always nice to have some reserve drivers in the competition that you know can step in for you. So here I'm approaching him, I'm closing the gap, and I'm letting him know over the voice chat that I am approaching him. So he knows that he needs to keep an eye open for me and yield me the inside line when I'm close enough. And that moment was so scary. I was already preparing myself for lapping him, but that's what I was talking about at the beginning. That this jump is so difficult. You can lose your rear so easily if you're not straight enough on the jump. It's very, very dangerous. So here, very nice move from Pasby, letting me pass on the inside. Didn't cost me any time at all. And you just seen on the side there, it said gun yellow that he killed himself. If you wonder what happened, you should go onto the account from Meet My Pyro. He has a video, and you can look at it and see what happened to Gun Yellow. That was quite amazing there.
Shit. I don't know.
So in the upper right corner you see Cleanup making a second pit stop, and right behind him is Daniel Jackson, which will be
Well, I get stuck.
his the driver Cleanup is racing against till the end of the race, and actually they have a pretty close finish. Daniel Jackson almost manages to overtake Cleanup at the last corner, but then unfortunately clips his rear and spins Cleanup around, so he had to let Cleanup pass, so Cleanup finished in front of him. But it was kinda important that Cleanup did his pit stop here, because now I am right behind him, and I will lap him on in this lap, and something bad happens to Cleanup. That was quite unfortunate for him. It could have went pretty wrong for myself too. You will see in just a few seconds. Here already I'm going pretty wide there. I usually want to stay more on the inside, and then taking those curbs and going into this turn. So as you see, I'm approaching him, but
as further as you improve in the grid or in the field to lap faster guys, as more difficult it gets. But here's the moment I'm letting him know that I will approach him, and I think due to this he kinda lost the breaking point, and you'll see what happened.
Hey, perfect
He
timing.
just hits that inside, like the outside wall there. There's a small gap you can drive into and just get stuck, and that's what happened to him.
I'll
But
have to do it again.
at least he didn't lose a position due to that. But kinda
Vikstrom 46.55.
funny incident there. He wanted to let me pass, and then this happens.
And me?
You can go.
So approaching lap 20 now. You see on the side some
I'm
people
almost
taking their
missing
pit
the
stops,
40.10.
and Mr. Rio's right in front of me.
Okay,
So
that's me.
as you see,
On this
I
corner.
just passed Mr. Cleanup, and in front of me is Mr. Rio, so Team Bingo still pretty close together. And Rio, very clean
GG,
overlapping there. He just yields me the inside very nicely,
So far.
so I can pass him.
They've got
Almost,
mechanic and
almost
daily fees
make a
coming out.
mistake there on that light pole, but I got away with it. Kinda scary. And now back into this hospital section again.
Markin 47.50.
And as you see, it's getting we're getting into the late afternoon, so the night is coming up again. Might cause some trouble for other racers.
Oh.
And here you see I've on this moment I decided to take my pit stop on lap 20 because I saw that I have a 40-second gap to Fab Iceman and Arkenlol, so I had plenty of time to do my pit stop and still be in front of them after it. So in this moment I decide to take my pit stop at lap 20 instead of lap 21.
Sneaky bastard.
Because I just don't want to maybe here lapping Vikstro. There always
You had to rub it
always
in,
stuff
didn't
can happen to you on the lap, so I just wanted to get the pit stop done.
Car just
you?
And
Nah, I'm
don't-
just out for fun now.
Didn't want to do another lap that might have caused some trouble and then fall behind them.
$49.17.
Here in the upper right you see Cleanup also approaches Vikstro. He gets the inside line there.
I hate that line.
And he clean up, no, not clean up, Vikstro. That outside line, you don't want to take that outside line there, and he just mentioned it because you will be dragged to the outside, and the inside it takes you around that turn very nicely. So I approach this pit stop and stop at 49.35, so I can leave the pits at 49.55, and in the upper right you see again,
49.55,
Vikstro just passes Cleanup on the straight, so I guess Bingo F1 doesn't have the engine power in this race.
Yeah, this shit.
And now back to myself, leaving at 49.56. Just a bit, I just was
Just
going
21
safe on this
all
one, no need to be on the edge.
Oh, God.
And here we have Cleanup again, moving back to him,
Oh no.
just behind X1.
I screwed myself up, not you.
X1.
I got too much speed
I think I
for
made a
there,
mistake, so he was racing X1 the whole time. Also X1 going for the Auto Exotics F1 team, teammate of Vikstro.
And it's the last pit stop.
And they are having quite a nice battle here. Cleanup in 10th position, trying to get the inside here, but couldn't make it,
59.
so he gives himself some space to go into that turn. And onto this fast, high paced section.
Oh more pit stops.
Oh, you see X1 gets a better exit and pulls away a bit.
Yeah, good job, man.
Oh, almost looked like he was going into that that gap again. He went in
Shooting.
when I lapped him, but he managed to avoid it. Sticking to the inside. And whoa, almost hit that tire barrier. Very, very close there. Very risky, because those tire barriers, they are just sticky as hell. If you touch them, you stop. Your car just stops dead. So, nice scenery right here, with the sun behind those skyscrapers, going into lap 21. It's not just a track that is nice to drive, it's also a very good looking track. So very well suited for some racing footage. If you wanna check it out, Susie, our cameraman, making some videos on the Rockstar editor. Oh, another mistake by cleanup, hitting that pole. And there goes Daniel Jackson, which was just behind cleanup
I've already passed
during the pit stop. Oh, he just hits that pedestrian and launches him in the air. Always like, I don't know why Rockstar is not able to figure out why the pedestrians are spawning. And here, very nice run from cleanup. Like, what a move, really. That was some first class racing there. Way better exit, and then just a beautiful overtake on the inside. Man, on the upper right you see myself on lap 21. I'm already I'm behind cleanup again because I did my pit stop too, and I'm going to lap him over the next laps. And there, you've seen on my screen. You just, if you didn't see it, you have to just go back a few seconds. I was going around that turn, and I just thought, oh yeah, everything is fine, just drive clean. And then all of a sudden, I see Meet My Pyro in the safety car on the racing line, and I thought, okay, shit, what the heck is he doing there? I decided to go on the inside because I saw him moving onto the outside of the turn, and all of a sudden he turns back into the inside line, and I just hit the safety car. Being in first position and hitting the safety car, that's quite a controversial incident. I was just lucky that I had a 7-second gap to position 2, so if Fab Iceman or Arkanlaw, if they would have been right behind me, that incident there, that could have cost me the win. So, but fingers crossed, nothing happened. But that was, yeah, crazy moment during the race.
Yeah, Susie, how much for holding up the leaders 2 minutes or so?
I'll clean up with a very nice entrance into that turn and a great apex. You see myself already being on the back straight, approaching cleanup. Just behind him, probably like 5 seconds or 10 seconds. And cleanup, he's driving consistently now, being in 10th position. He can gain 1 point for being in 10th place. But maybe he wants to try to catch the one in front. You can see his brake lights there. And something must have happened to those guys, because like they're just appearing way closer than they were on the straight. Let's see if Cleanup is able to catch those guys.
Go Arkin, you can still get him.
Oh, and there you heard Renegade firing up his teammate Arkanlol to push for the win. Here you see Arkanlol is 7 seconds behind myself, and I'm in lap 24 right now. Or approaching lap 24 now. So I have 4 laps or 5 laps to go, and Arkanlol is 7 seconds behind. At that moment I got a bit nervous, I have to admit, because I was losing a bit of my concentration being in first with a gap of 12 seconds, and I made a few mistakes over those last couple of laps. And Arkanlol, he was going very fast. He was closing on me. So in the end it was quite an interesting race to see who will win, Arkanlol or myself. Definitely want to stick till the end. See myself frequently looking at the time. Always a bad sign. When I look a lot at the times, then I feel a bit nervous about my pace. And here in the lower picture, on the main picture, you see Cleanup making a mistake, hitting that barrier there on the outside, which is always tough to avoid if you go very fast, which puts me pretty close behind him, already on the long straight. And another mistake by Cleanup, and he gets passed by Blah, going for the Tiki Lala team, with his teammate Fab Iceman being in 3rd position. So that was yeah, Cleanup just threw away that point here. If he doesn't manage to catch Blah again, then that's very unfortunate for Team Binko F1, losing 1 point here. But also very nice for Team Tiki Lala. At the moment they are gathering 16 points, which is great for them because they didn't have a single point after the first race. So very good for them to get some points. And you see myself being on the main straight, approaching lap 25. Cleanup is on lap 24, and I'm letting him know that I'm approaching him right now. You see, I can already see him there. And here I get a better run over that curb. He doesn't take the curb, and you see you get such like a big speed boost. And there, I'm sorry for this. That was quite a rude move of myself. I thought he was letting me pass on the inside, but I could have waited 1 or 2 more turns definitely. But being under pressure from Arkin, I was a bit yeah, aggressive at this part of the race. So here you see myself approaching the last 3 laps. You've seen Arkin right behind me, and then Fab Iceman. And behind Fab Iceman there already is a big gap. I think about 50-second gap to the 4th place. But great for LS Customs teams. In 4th place was Michiski, my teammate. Very good comeback for him after being in 8th place at the 8th or 9th place in the Rattlesnake Grand Prix, being in 4th place and to gather some points for the championship. So very nice to see. And here I'm just pushing because Arkin really, I notice I'm pushing my car right now, and I'm getting quick lap times, but I still can't gain time on Arkan. We are always the same distance apart, so if I put a quick lap time, he's still 5 seconds behind me. So I know I can't make any mistakes anymore, because if I do, he will be right behind me. So the last laps, I was getting more tensed and making a few more mistakes, I think. In front of me, another car that I lap.
Sorry about that.
That's Blah, who just passed Mr. Cleanup after he had his mistake. Very nice move there from Blah, giving me a lot of space. And I really have to say the overlapping worked perfectly on this race. I have to give credits to everybody that was in the back of the field and was lapped by somebody else. You guys did a great job being aware and showing some great racing skills. Here, sticking to the inside there, you see, if you stick to the inside, it just pulls you through that corner. You don't get dragged to the outside. This section, if you get it right, it's so satisfying.
Oh God.
And then here, this fast section. Take a look at Meet My Pyro. As I said before, something happened at this point.
What lap are
You
you?
definitely want to see it. Look at Meet My Pyro's YouTube channel. You definitely want to see it. It's the most amazing thing I have seen in a competitive race. Ganiello, host of this race. He had a pretty bad race. You see he's in 15th place, so last place. Just in front of those two guys that had the engine failure. Very like a black Saturday for Team Bowling Broke F1.
Oh darn.
With one car not finishing and one car being in last position.
Ah, I tried.
But I'm pretty sure they will do better on the next race.
Drift around.
I've done it once before. I've gone
So
sideways through that
2
once
laps to
before,
go.
so
I'm approaching lap 27 now,
it's just
and
to
now
get
the heat is
sideways
on.
through that.
I really want to get this win. Don't want to lose again to Arkan Lol. And if the race ends like this, I can tie him in the championship. We will both have 43 points. Both having 25 points and 18 points, being first and second in the first and second race. So quite interesting stuff there. And here I still have to lap 2 cars that are fighting for position. I think it's X1 and Mr. Ryo. So still, like, it's not over. Arkanlaw has still a chance. 7 seconds behind myself. And I'm just pushing here. Going fast through those turns. And in front of me is, it's X1 for the Auto Exotic Motorsports team. And here, like, it just works perfectly. He just lets me pass before this tight section comes. Well done there.
Okay.
And now I'm right behind Mr. Ryo. And also, like, it's a great move from X1 because he was fighting with Ryo for position, and now he just lost a few seconds due to my lapping. Now here I'm approaching Mr. Ryo. Almost into the last lap. Sticking to the inside here. Following him. Then over this curb, and I talk to him here. I tell him, okay, let me pass on the straight, so he doesn't lose a lot of time. And then, oh, this happens. I just clipped the official building there. on this turn.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I just turned in too early. But doesn't matter. Last lap, 7 seconds ahead. Should be able to pull this off. And secure my first win for the season. It's always nice to have your first win on the scoreboard. And here Mr. Ryo lets me pass.
Jello.
Going onto the back straight. Hitting that curb for the last time. Just get this one right. Stay straight, I think to myself. Don't mess it up. Also, the weather here in Germany, they made this race very, very difficult. It was probably like 40 degrees Celsius in my room. Outside it was very, very hot. So my hands were kind of sweaty. It makes everything more difficult. But I managed to drive through those turns pretty nicely. Last time over those bumps. Around this difficult turn, don't go into that barrier on the outside. Over the bridge. Down this straight. Look at the times. Ark and Lol still 6 seconds behind myself. I think, okay, I managed to win this. I will win this. I was very, very comfortable and proud of myself that I was able to do so. And then, oh, what the heck? Like, seriously? 3 turns before the finish line, I make such a mistake. Like, if Arkenlaw would have been closer to myself, this could have gone terribly wrong. I could have lost the race in the last lap, but unfortunately I didn't, and here's the win.
So this is the final result. Arkin managed to finish in 2nd place. Well done. Fab Iceman in 3rd place. Great job for Team Tikilala. And Mr. Cleanup in 11th place. See you next time, guys.